Have you ever felt like life was just happening to you? Like you were reacting instead of creating your own path? Have you ever looked at others who seem to have it all figured out and wondered, what do they have that I don't? Well, what if the answer is nothing? What if everything that you need to navigate life, every tool, every resource, every ounce of wisdom was already within you, just waiting to be uncovered? You Are the Mission is here to help you unlock your survival kit. The skills, mindsets, and inner resources you already have to heal, grow, and step fully into the life that you were meant to live. My name is Toby, and I will be your host. And through real conversations, expert insights, and powerful stories, I'll share my own journey of transformation, the tools that I discovered along the way, and the lessons that have changed everything for me. You'll hear from guests who learn to use their own survival kits in extraordinary ways, and together we'll discover how to make the most of yours. Because this isn't just a journey, it's your mission, and you are more prepared than you think. Let's begin. Hey guys, it's Toby, and I just wanted to share some insights and info and thoughts maybe that might, give you something to chew on. While I was having my meditation time today, some things just came into my mind, and I wanted to share about perception and our beliefs, and are those things playing a role in in our lives? I believe that they are. They are kind of like one of those underlying programs. If you think about our lives as being a computer, and our thought processes are, working under the radar. Kind of like, our autonomic nervous system is regulating our heartbeat, our breathing, our digestion. Like things are happening when we don't even have to think about them. And so there are other underlying programs, like maybe belief systems or perceptions or, coping mechanisms that we developed or been taught or have been subjected to that may kind of cloud our perception. Or the beliefs might stop us from having a willingness to see outside of, what we believe to be is acceptable. So anyway, I thought about, how in one of the classes I've taken, one of the many, 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 many classes I have taken, I remember a story about how you could have messy lenses, and if they're all muddy and messy, then you're not able to see things clearly. And so I hope you enjoy the picture of having muddied lenses and just changing our perception. So our perceptions or lack thereof of perspective, or our belief system, or maybe our experiences that perhaps um, uh, we coordinate those. I'm having a brain fart for words, excuse me, but we coordinate those with negative things, and maybe perceptions or experiences we put with positive things. And so I just want to challenge, because I was challenged today myself, was to, if you're feeling stuck in your life or in a relationship or in a job, or, maybe you're trying to change your lifestyle, with a diet or exercise, maybe eating regular, giving up alcohol, whatever, doing some self-improvement things, doing some self-care and self-love, whatever it is that you're experiencing in your learning and life journey, sometimes obstacles and challenges come up. And one of those things is, I just want to give you an idea to maybe shift your perspective, or, be willing to maybe take off the lens, clear it a little bit, and see, is it possible that, I have a belief system, or I have ingrained in myself a perception of how things are, and that is maybe clouding the way things can be or are. And so just taking the time to be able to go within and do some inner work and be willing to maybe investigate, what are some of your belief systems? For example, do you believe that maybe you don't deserve to be prosperous and have financial abundance in your life? Maybe you believe, as I have always heard, money is the root of all evil. Or I experienced in my childhood that wealth brought along a lot of drama, a lot of people using you, maybe using that wealth to manipulate. And so I kind of was like, I'm not sure if I want to have a lot of money, because I don't want those things in my life. So, is that, or here's some more other things, has someone told you that you're not smart enough? Did someone tell you you didn't come from the right family? Were you instilled with the belief system that, your voice isn't something that somebody wants to hear, or it doesn't matter? Were you instilled with the thoughts that, maybe you weren't athletic enough, or beautiful enough, or thin enough, or, whatever? There's so many different things that we experience in our childhood and all through our adult life that we may take them in, and they get filed away in a program somewhere, and they could very well create roadblocks in our life, or blurred perception in our life, or limiting beliefs, and stop us from actually experiencing the life that we really want to have. So is there any way that you could just take a few moments whenever you're having an experience and just really ask yourself, where is what I'm feeling right now, or thinking, or sensing, or experiencing? Where is that coming from? Is it whatever is happening right in this moment because of this experience right now? Or am I bringing some kind of limiting belief, perception, coping mechanism to the table right now, which is actually operating under the radar, and kind of, well, I don't want to say manipulating, but kind of running the show? So something that I started learning several years ago, in some of the different modalities and books and sessions with different practitioners, is just being able to start going within and maybe identifying some of those things, and loving myself for them. They're not negative things. And it takes away the blame game, the victim mentality, because as long as you're blaming something outside of yourself, you are not going to be able to get to that next level of healing. You're only going to be able to get so far. And then when you hit a roadblock, you're going to find another reason, or another situation, or something to blame. So it kind of gives you the power back and enables you to take back control, take some self-accountability, be kind and gentle with yourself, and know, you only know what you know until you know something different. Just as every person in your life is doing what they know at the time, and they can't do something they don't know. So if you're expecting somebody to love you in a way that they have not been loved, it's not going to happen, because they don't have it within them to give. When I started being able to look at things that way, I really started to be able to forgive others more and forgive myself, knowing that, everybody is really just doing the best they can with what they have. And sometimes it might seem to us that they got it all going on, they should have no reason to have issues. And that is a huge assumption that can get you into a big conundrum, which I have experienced in my life. And, I have had challenging relationships with people because I had an assumption that wasn't true. And not only of those people or circumstances or situation, but also of myself. I didn't understand that I was coming from a place where maybe I had some wounds that were clouding my perception of things. So, anyway, just a short little chat about that. I hope that gives you something to think about, just being willing to kind of step back, go within, maybe rise up out of that situation, take the situation away from your face, kind of like removing those messy, dirty goggles or glasses. Remove them, shift yourself up a little bit, and try to see the situation from a different perspective. Kind of like when you're hiking, um, maybe you can't really see where the heck the trail is or something. But if you stand up on a log that had fallen or a rock and you look down, you can see a little bit better where you're going or maybe where the creek is. So, yeah, think of it like that. You're just shifting your perspective a little bit, doing some inner work, and, taking accountability where you need to. Take back the power. Take the power back and, choose not to blame other people and circumstances, and choose to set all of that free, and then take the power back and just do something different today that's going to help you to get to the place where you want to be tomorrow. Take care.